see, it is cold this morning. The first time in the 30s this school year. So why am I up this early? Well, I'm up this early to talk about composition. We're going to be talking about rule of thirds today and leading lines. And the weather this week is going to be fantastic. It's windows open kind of weather. When you get that kind of weather, you get some pretty good sunsets and sunrises. So I'm out here at the Montgomery County, Frederick County line to take a picture of the sunrise, talk about rule of thirds. Let's get to it. All right, so let me tell you guys where I'm at here. So I'm out at the Frederick County, Montgomery County line. The little teeny tiny town of Comus is right here behind me. And I'm overlooking this nice little valley here with the sun coming up behind me. I'm gonna go over my shot with you guys here before I start to freeze to death, and then we'll move on to another location. So now you can see what I've got set up on my viewfinder on my camera. Right now I have the horizon, and the horizon is where the land meets the sky, right down the middle. So with this sunrise, I want to be using the rule of thirds, and you guys can see my grid there. At least you can see it where it is in the land. So I want to move my grid. I want to move that bottom line so it's on the horizon. That way I give 2/3 of this photo to the sky, because I think the sky is the most important feature for this photo. All right, the sun is up. The roosters are crowing out here. I'm gonna set up our next shot. As you guys can see here, I've moved my camera just a little bit from the sunrise to get the valley here. There's an awesome little barn back there in the background. So I'm gonna give 2/3 of my shot to the land. Now that I've got the sun hitting the soybeans out here and the yellow flowers, it lights up my landscape. So the land is going to be the focus of this shot. All right, so here we are in the next spot. We're gonna work on leading lines. Now, leading lines, instead of using the grids on your phone, you're actually using lines in your photo to direct your viewer's eye. Now, let me switch my camera here so you can see where I'm at. All right, so now you can see here that I'm at the railroad tracks down by the C&O Canal. Now, these tracks are not used very much. These are down at the end of these tracks is a power plant, so the train cars that come by here go really, really slowly. All right, as you can see, I've got the railroad tracks as my set of leading lines. I've got them right down the middle of my shot, or the end of them right down the middle of my shot. That way I want your eye to follow the tracks straight through my image. All right, made it back inside where it's nice and warm. Got a shave, edited my photos, and I'll show you those in just a second. All right, so let's just review. Rule of thirds is where you take your photo and you divide it into thirds, both vertically and horizontally. You put the subject of your photo on those grid lines, or like when I was shooting the landscapes, you give parts of a landscape more than another. So the land would get 2/3 of a shot, or the sky would get 2/3 of a shot. Leading lines is using lines that are in your photo to direct the viewer's eye to where you want them to go, whether it's a subject or whether it's a landscape. These concepts can be tricky, and they can be difficult to find photos of and find pictures of, especially if you're only taking photos inside your home. My advice would be just to be patient, keep trying it, send me your photos, I'll give you feedback,
You can resubmit as many times as you need to. I just want you to learn the concept. All right, so I'm going to show you the photos that I took this morning, plus the photos that I took during the rest of the day. Son had a baseball game, and I took some pictures of my daughter in our neighborhood as well. For the rule of thirds photos, I'm going to throw on the grids just so you can get an idea of what my photos look like with the grids. I hope everybody enjoys this project, even if it's a little frustrating. It will help you take better photos in the end.